Sergeant Mike Lovechick.
And we're going to be interviewing him. And the first question I want to ask you is, who is influential in the community and how are they influential?
Well, there's probably a lot of people that are influential in the community. When you talk about perhaps people of elected officials like our city council, city mayor, our chief of police is not necessarily an elected official. He is hired by the city. But when you think about it, those three positions right there, the city council, city mayor, and the city chief of police, they're very influential. And obviously they have a lot of pull in the city. They have to be able to deal with not only issues within the community, but also with businesses that have a lot of involvement and a lot of investment inside the community. So what happens is that those positions that we just mentioned, like I said, they're able to really get out and get the community involved and also be able to help their cause.
And then another question I have is, what are the high-risk issues around the community, such as like homeless, drugs, crimes?
Well, you know, I mean, for our city is a pretty quiet city. We have our share of incidents. I mean, I will say that. However, the biggest issue that we face, or a big issue I should say, it's not necessarily the biggest issue, but a big issue, a significant one, is the issue of homelessness. And as you mentioned, that is an issue in any community when you think about it. It doesn't matter if you're in Beverly Hills or if you're in some really poor part of town. Every community has to deal with it. And it's really not necessarily a criminal issue because it's not a crime to be homeless. It's the crimes that come along with the homelessness that we have to deal with as far as dealing with homeless people. Again, like I said, we get calls all the time that say, you know, there's a homeless guy walking down the street.
Right.
Well, we'll say, you know, well, what's he doing? Well, nothing. He's standing there. Okay, well, it's not illegal to stand there. It's not illegal to be homeless. So a lot of people are frustrated with stuff like that because, you know, it's just they don't want the transient in their neighborhood.
Right.
You know? Again, like I said, it's one of those things where if we can deal with a criminal activity, then we do. We take that action.
What type of crimes do you see with like homeless people?
Well, it's a lot of theft, a lot of drug activity. So that's usually the two crimes that are associated with homelessness because, you know, they're trying to either feed their habit or, you know, just make a couple of bucks or what have you. So a lot of times what happens is they'll steal small things out of a store or something like that. But not every one of them are crooks. I mean, I've met several people out here on the streets who are in that situation just because of, you know, the things that are handed to them, basically.
Right.
And they're not necessarily crooks, they're just down on their luck. But, you know, like I said, it's one of those things where it's a societal problem. It's not necessarily just a police problem. I don't have the magic answer as to how we're going to solve homelessness. But you know what? We do what we can here at the police department. Matter of fact, we have 2 officers who work full time doing nothing but dealing with homeless people and their issues. And it's not necessarily on a criminal level. It's also on a how can we help them level. We provide them resources, we provide them assistance, that type of thing. So for our purposes, we are doing what we can at this point to deal with the homeless crisis.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for this interview.
You're welcome. I'm